know? So yes, I was very afraid. Okay.
Right. Like once you figure out it's Chaka Khan, you're like, why is anyone here? Like, let's just go home
why
now.
am I here?
Well, you won, so congratulations.
Thank you.
What about, like, you've written for so many people? What about, we have like Kenya Moore, Gone with the Wind Fabulous. We have Countess Lu with Money Can't Buy You Class, Melissa Gorga on display. We have lots of housewives that would like to, is there a particular housewife if you could write a song for that you would like to, just going forward? You're shaking your head no.
Mm-hmm. I'm not really trying to do any more housewife songs because, I just don't, it's kind of gimmicky sometimes, realistically. And I just don't want, me as a songwriter, that's something that I take seriously, okay? That is a real part of my life that if I wasn't even on this show, I always know I can go back and start writing songs for somebody, and that's a real career for me. So I'm not gonna even play a game with y'all. I did it one time, I let you know it can be done, but I'm not gonna keep make it seem like, oh, that's all she does now is write housewife songs. No thanks.
Never again.
No. That's at least not that I can see in my brain. Because I just, it has to be somebody who's taken seriously as a real artist, not just somebody who's a housewife doing music. There's a difference.
There is 100% a difference. I was going to ask you about that in particular, because to me, I agree with you. I think it's gimmicky. I mean, you also did it once, and on 99.9% of everyone's list, Don't Be Tardy is the #1 written housewife song of all time. If you want to look at all the lists out there, that's what people say. Thank you, Kandi Burruss. But what about, we spoke earlier about Candiace Dillard, like Deep Space and like Drive Back. Like Candice seems to be doing it. Like, to me, it's not gimmicky. I'm just curious.
I love Candace. Drew is working on new music, and I think Drew has a beautiful voice. I love Drew. My thing is, it's like, okay, once you guys establish yourself more in the industry and you are more of an artist than just a Real Housewife, then yeah, I would definitely love to work with them. Honestly, I just recommended a new attorney for Candace. Because I know she's taking her career seriously in the music field or whatever. So the more she goes in that direction, yes, I'll be more open to work with her, but if you are mainly a housewife and then an artist, I'm gonna hold up a little bit.
That's fair enough. Like,
she's going in the right direction though. I just don't want to do anything that's not taken seriously. So if she has, with her record deal and all of that stuff, and, they got a budget and all that stuff, that's real situation. Okay, we can talk about that. But just, it's so many different housewives doing random songs.
I agree with you with all of that. How was Celebrity Big Brother? And did you give Cynthia Bailey any advice before she went into the house?
I did. She ain't listen. No. Cynthia's my girl. I love her to death. She made it to this. She made it further than I did. She got to #3. I got to #4. That was the 4th. Fourth to the fourth place. So she did a great job, but there were a couple things I was like, come on now, Cynthia.
Did you watch the whole season as she was on it?
No, I didn't watch every episode, but I watched enough. Yeah.
She made a few mistakes. She just made a few mistakes.
Oh my God. When they kicked, what's her name? Shayna?
Yeah. Shayna.
Yeah, when they kicked her out, I was so mad about that. I was like, really, Chris did all that work to get y'all to this point, and y'all gonna kick. I was so mad.
You're like, you and Carson could have won.
Got cool, but I was like, how did you let him talk you into this? What?
Was it hard watching like Todrick and like the whole world, and then like, listen, people came for him and came to cancel him and all that drama that happened?
I didn't like that. I don't like that. I think people don't understand, like, at the end of the day, it was a game, y'all. He's trying to win. He's trying to win. He was the most serious about the game. Like literally, he also called me before he went to the house. I didn't tell either one of them that they were going to be in the house. These are two separate people calling me like, oh, I'm about to go in the house. What do you think? Blah, blah, blah. And I couldn't tell him anything. I couldn't tell her he was going in there. But my thing was, I already knew he was so serious about this game. He had been watching for years. So he knew how the game worked. Like, to me, I felt like the other people that went into the house were all trying to be genuine to each other. We're trying to be friendly, trying to, you know, not ruffle each other's feathers. Like my season, I felt like people actually hated each other in the house. Like,
yes.
they off camera, I don't know what they showed on camera because I never went back and even watched my season, to be honest with you. But I feel like they were a lot nicer to each other in their season than the people in my season were. So I just felt like Todrick was more like the people who were in the house when I was in the house, who really were out to get each other, who were plotting, who were doing all that stuff. But to me, it's part of the game. So I didn't understand what everybody was so mad about. I know people were saying stuff like it was things that he said on the whatever the internet version of the show, but I didn't see that. And I'm not judging anybody by what they said on the show. Like, go on somewhere with that.
When you know someone in real life.
Yeah.
Before we move on, I just want to say, because you know what, Kandi, this isn't your first interview. This isn't my first interview. We all know what happens when something isn't asked. So I just want to say, before the whole internet explodes, until you and I both get whatever, everyone listening, Kandi has recently said that she has no opinion. I don't think anything of it. This is regarding the Nene lawsuit, just because everyone's going to say, why didn't you ask Kandi this? Kandi was just asked this, everyone, like 2 days ago. She doesn't have anything to say about it. Never, absolutely not. I have no opinion, no, never. So for everyone that wants to know.
They quoted me like that.
Okay, well, they really said no opinion. I don't think anything of it. Don't have anything to say about it. Nope, never. Absolutely no. I have no opinion. That is what they said.
And that's exactly what I said. I don't have no opinion. I don't have anything to say. I don't want to even talk about that. That has nothing to do with me. And yeah, I'm not in that one. My name Bennett, and I'm not in it. Leave me be.
Well, if it's any consolation, someone just asked Marlo that somewhere else, and she said pretty much the exact same thing. So there you go. I want to ask you though, and this doesn't necessarily have to do with Nene, but when like someone, so like Nene's not on the show, and there's lots of other housewives from other franchises that are not on the show. Do you think there is a mistake that certain housewives make where, you know, like they're their own worst enemy? Do you know what I mean? Like, where like you're not on the show or you become too big and too demanding. It's a substitute Nene for anyone from another franchise. We could go down every franchise. Like, do you think over the years like that there are housewives that forget this is an ensemble show?
Well, none of us are bigger than the show, right? It is an ensemble show. So you know, looking at it from the way you're saying it, I think at some point everybody's time comes. Simple as that. I mean, it doesn't matter which show you look at, all of them, all of the top people, I think, have come and gone at some point. You know, some come, go, come back, go again, you know, so it's just part of it, I think. It's just a part of it. I don't think it has to be anything about anybody personally. I just think they just decide when they decide that it's time for you to make a change, or even some people make that decision for themselves.